Welcome everyone to a Wednesday night edition of the Allen Powell Show. Got some great topics lined up for you today and a great guest at the interview going on later on today. We will be talking about U.S. Team USA basketball defeating South Sudan. Also, Caleb Williams will not be playing in the Hall of Fame game. Simone Biles and Team USA gymnastics win goals again. And Pat Mahomes says he's not underpaid. The best quarterback in the league says he's not underpaid, but other players are saying they are underpaid. So we got a lot of things to discuss, and we're going to tell you why a life coach is needed. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, and let's get ready to lock and load.
We lock and load, Allen Powell. It's the Allen Powell Show. Yeah. We lock and load. Come on. It's the Allen Powell Show. Yeah. We lock and load. Come on. It's the Allen Powell Show. Yeah. We lock and load. It's the Allen Powell Show. Yeah. We lock and load. Come on. Yeah.
Thank y'all again for checking in with the Allen Powell Show. And without further ado, I have a special guest in the building, life coach, barber, amongst other things. D Boozer, thank you for checking in with the show today.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited about it.
This is great. We've been talking for a while about a plethora of things. You're going to talk some sports with me, but we also are going to talk about you being a life coach, what that entails, and what you do, what you can offer, why people can benefit from a life coach. But we are going to talk some sports. So with that being said, Team USA played South Sudan today. Now, the last time they played South Sudan, they won by 1 point, and LeBron had to make a game-winning shot to beat South Sudan. South Sudan does not have a lot of NBA players. Wenyen Gabriel is the only player, I believe, that's on that team. And so I was interested to see how they would come out and play this game. And when I looked at this game, they blew them out. They won 103-86, and it was pretty much a blowout. It wasn't a contested game. And but it was some storylines leading to this game. The game itself wasn't really competitive. But it's a few things that happened. One, before we get into the storylines, if you caught the game, what was your thoughts about the game overall? How USA came out and defeated South Sudan?
So you know what? I did not. I was in a meeting literally all day. Did not have a chance to see it. We saw it like while I was up at lunch, like playing in the background, but I did not get a chance to see it myself. But I did see that Jason Tatum did get a start. It doesn't look like he contributed all that much, according to the numbers, but at least he got in the game this time.
So, being that you just brought him up, let's go ahead and talk about this story, because this was a storyline coming into this game and right after the last game. Jason Tatum did not play a minute in the last ball game, and then Steve Kerr came out and said it was basically about matchups. But then something strange he said that bothered me. In one breath, you said it's about matchups, but then the next moment he says, I felt like an idiot for not playing him. Which one is it? Is it about matchups, or you just missed the ball and not playing him? Because when you say I felt like an idiot for not playing him, that means that he should have played, and for whatever reason you dropped the ball and forgot about him, or you forgot he was over there, or you forgot he was on the team. I don't know what it was. But somewhere down the line, something is missing. And to me, I think when stuff like this happens, when coaches like go back and forth with one statement and with another statement, to me, that means panic set in. Panic set in, and I gotta say something. So let me just say I felt like an idiot. And in all honesty, if you just would have stood with it's about matchups, I could have rolled with that. But then you say you felt like an idiot. When you see those two comments, what do you think was going on with Steve Kerr?
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I can see how both is true. Like you got a roster of the best basketball players on the planet. Somebody is not gonna get the ticks that you feel like they should get, right? Somebody is gonna get left behind every game. It's just, and it almost has to be like, you know, who's playing good in the moment, who can't risk getting hurt. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
can see it both ways. I can see it where he would feel like an idiot not playing him, but also if the matchups don't dictate that he get in the game, then that's how it rolls. He's the coach. He got to do the best thing for the whole team.
So let's talk about matchups because you said if the matchups didn't line up, this is a 6'9" wing that can get up and down the court with the best of them, in my opinion. So I can't buy the matchup thing. Now, if we're talking about today, Joel Embiid didn't play. Now he's a bigger guy that can't get up and down the floor like everyone else. He's a center. But the matchups things with Jason Tatum doesn't add up to me. It don't line up. Am I wrong for saying that? Like he's not a center. He can move. He can play. He can play the 2. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. So what's the thing with the matchup? It don't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Again, I'm gonna say this, okay? Like, I am gonna do my best to not be a backseat driver. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that what Steve Kerr is dealing with, like, an embarrassment of riches. You know what I'm saying? And like, who wants to figure out how to navigate that? Like, it's not gonna be easy, bro. He's not gonna win. Like, he's never gonna do the right thing 100% of the time. And this time, he just bad stroke.
That's why you get the big bucks. I mean, you the coach of Team USA. That's why they picked you because you can make these decisions. But it's okay. But let's talk about so okay, Jason Tatum didn't play last game. He played this game. He and a matter of fact, he started this game. So I just felt like he had to pander so much. Like, man, let me just go ahead and start him this game because I ruffled too many feathers. But look, Joel Embiid didn't play at all in this game, and he's a former MVP. And so, but like I say, when he says it's about matchups, it makes sense. It was now when they play against Jokic, he's going to need Embiid. So matchup wise against South Sudan, he doesn't need Embiid. I just feel like these coaches panic sometimes when it comes to the media. They don't know what to say. They just have to say anything. But what do you think about Joel not playing in this game?
Well, I'm not super familiar with this guy at all, but going back to Steve Kerr panicking. I mean, this dude been in the spotlight since the 90s, man. I don't think he doing too much panicking. I think everything he does is, even as a player, is well calculated. He's very smart. He's got a really high basketball IQ. I think he did what he felt like he needed to do, and probably felt bad about it on the back end. It was like, oh man, I got to justify this, but
right.
I don't think he panicked. I don't see that for Steve Kerr.
All right, well, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt more than I am. That's okay. That's okay. Well, I want to move on to some football news. Before we move on, real quick, do you think the basketball team are they gonna win gold? Are they gonna like wipe the competition out? Will they have any competition in this Olympics, in your opinion?
I think that their biggest competition is always themselves. And which is exactly what happened against South Sudan last time, is that I think that they get a little arrogant, they get a little lax and start treating it sometimes like an exhibition game. And then when the heat get put on, then they got to scramble and put a real game together. So if they can really come out and dominate and leave their best games on the floor, they'll get gold, no problem.
They know the pressure is on. The pressure is on. Like, the last few Olympics, the world is catching up. We all see the Europeans in the league, the Jokic's, the Doncic, Giannis, all these players from different countries, and it's catching up. So they have to, they can't take their foot off the gas. They can't take anybody lightly because the world is getting better. So,
absolutely.
So you definitely think they're going to win gold?
If they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they'll win. But who knows? I mean, it could be some type of chemistry implosion. You just never know what happens, especially when you got that many quality players of that caliber that are really going head to head any other time. You know what I mean? There's going to be some complications in the locker room. So if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they'll be fine.
Once again, we got Life Coach D Booz on Alan Powell's show. Anyone who's checking in, y'all can comment. We're going to post your comments, talk about your comments, share the live. Your people can see it. They can comment, and we can post the comments as well. Now you're gonna talk some football with us. We had some NFL holdouts, hold-ins, and people not happy with the contracts. Last week on the show, I talked about Trent Williams, the offensive tackle from the 49ers, who is holding out, who has 3 years left on his deal. When he got his contract, he was the highest paid offensive tackle. Now the salary cap done went up. People getting paid all over. He look up, say, "Hold on, wait a minute. I'm the best tackle in this league. I need some more money. I need some more money." Now, and in other news, the best quarterback in the league, Pat Mahomes, for the Kansas City Chiefs, says, "Oh, I'm not underpaid." Somebody asked him, "Am I underpaid?" He says, "No, I'm not underpaid." He says, "I know every time a contract comes up, everybody looks at my annual per year average and everything like that, and I'm doing pretty well for myself. For me, it's just about going out there trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family, and at the end of the day, I feel like I'm doing a good job at that." You got two different approaches. Now, when he got his contract, same situation. Number one, they made him the highest paid quarterback in the league a few years ago. Now things have changed. Now he's not even in the top 3 of quarterbacks, and he just came off a Super Bowl. He have a reason to go to the owner and say, "I want more money." But Trent Williams, 3 years left on his deal, and he want more money. If I say, "D Boozy, you are the owner and GM of the San Francisco 49ers, and you have a holdout because this guy wants more money," what are you doing? What are you doing with this guy?
I mean, this is tough because really what we see here is like the difference of perspectives, right? Pat is like, "Look, I want to enjoy the game. I like where I'm at. My contract is what I agreed to. My family's taken care of. I'm cool." Right. I feel like Trent is moving from a position of ego a little bit. Like, yes, you can't undercut yourself in the market because it messes up everybody else's contract. I understand it's a dynamic situation, right? Like what I get paid dictates what you get paid,
Right.
dictates what the next guy can ask for and what the other guy definitely can't ask for. So I understand that, but I feel Pat on this one, man. Like your deal is your deal. You are living good. You living real good, my guy. You know what I mean? Like you never have to work again ever if you never made another dollar and you took care of your money. And so, like, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna argue over tens of millions of dollars. Like, bro, you got hundreds. What are we like? I don't know, man. I feel like it's if you could be petty about 10 million, I feel like you being petty. You know what I'm saying? Or 20 or 30 or 50.
Right.
It's come on, man. We millions, bro. Like, come
So
on.
okay, let me now you had the coach GM hat on. Now put the helmet on. Say you're the player. Are you just rolling out with your contract, or because you got the leverage? Hey, you on my team. I know, I know that I need you. I need you. I cannot win a Super Bowl without you. And you want to hold out. So as a player, you know that I need you on the team, and you feel like you want more money. I mean, are you going to play out your contract as is, or would you hold out?
Me, D Boozer, as the player,
Yes.
I'm gonna fulfill the contract that I agreed to. And because I'm gonna tell you this, at that level, yes, you putting your body on the line every single snap. And I get that. But again, you should be managing. Like this is not a long-term situation, right? These players know that they putting their body on the line every single snap. So you need to be coming into the NFL knowing that you got to pocket your money and make wise investments, period. Because no, you ain't guaranteed to walk off of the field any game.
Right.
So at some point it has to become about teamwork, right? And taking care of the people that are around you. And I would really hope that his dedication to taking care of his QB is bigger than holding out so you can manipulate a couple more dollars.
And this is the thing. This guy has a history. When he was with Washington, he held out a whole season. He didn't play a whole season because he wanted more money. So he has a track record where he he might hold out. I don't think he would do it with this team because when he was with Washington, the team was trash. He didn't have nothing to lose by holding out, But this team is looking to win a Super Bowl. But like I say, he knows that they need him. He's a valuable piece. And so, me personally, I don't like it. Like I said, I think you should just play out your contract, and you can't come to me 3 years into your contract because the market changed and want to renegotiate your contract. But it was just interesting to see the different dynamics from an offensive lineman and then a quarterback, the best quarterback in the league at the most important position on the field in Pat Mahomes, and he had a totally different perspective. But I think eventually the San Francisco 49ers are going to give him more money because they need him so much and because he has the leverage. So,
but also I think in the long term, though, speaking to exactly what you said, now, I mean, we're talking about character at this point, right? And how many people are really going to continue to not gamble on you, because he's a safe bet,
right.
As far as his position. Like, I mean, he's as good as it gets, but I mean, it's all the other, there's so many intangibles, and it's not just all about having the best person. Like, sometimes you need to take care of your team. And if you can't depend on this dude, then I just don't know, man. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'll be like this, man. If it was me, if I was the owner, Jim, like, yo, man, this stuff getting old, man. You done this in Washington,
I'm saying,
like, ain't nobody got time for this, man. Like I said, we made you the highest paid player at the time, and we did right by you. So I ain't got nothing else for you, man. You want to hold out? We're gonna find you. Enough of these owners or GMs just giving in to the players all the time. And I'm all for the players getting their money, but I just think everything needs to be done in the right way.
I agree. And with integrity. And I feel like when you go back and forth like that and you like, well, look at what he got. Well, look at what he got. First of all, you sound like a spoiled little kid. But secondly, where's your integrity? And you say, you know what? I agreed to this. I did agree to this. Right. And at the time, it was a good deal. And when it's expired, or maybe in a year or two, right, we can come back to the table. But today, come on, man, get on the field.
And one cardinal rule, us as men and guys, one thing that we say we don't like to do is count other people's money. We're like, yo, don't be counting my pockets, man.
I mean,
I'm glad we talked about this, because now this gave me a story of a day in the life of Al that I'm gonna get to later. Hopefully I'll remember it. I didn't have one, but now that this story has come up, it got me to a story that I'm gonna talk about. I probably said on the show before, but we're gonna review it. But moving on, I want to talk about more Olympics. Simone Biles and Team USA gymnastics. They come home with the gold again, and as I was watching the gymnastic part and her on the uneven bars and the balance beam and everything that she's doing, it was like, my goodness, man. The stuff that she was doing like multiple flips than everybody else was doing. Like, somebody would do a routine and do a couple of flips, and then she'd do a routine and do double the flips.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this woman is amazing. What are your thoughts about Simone Biles and the Team USA gymnastics team?
And I want to say, don't forget, she tweaked that ankle in early, not in the qualifying rounds, but you know what I mean, like earlier on. So she wasn't even going at 100%.
Right.
Simone Biles is the GOAT, man. I mean, I think that every generation has one. You know what I mean? Like women's gymnastics for the U.S. has been solid for a really long time, on and off, right? But solid for a really long time. And Simone Biles is just one of the greatest. I think she's got like 5 techniques named after her or something like that. Or, I mean, who does that? Like, you just keep, like, you're so good, you're making up new moves. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, she's amazing, and I'm just glad to be able to be alive right now and watch her do her thing. You see my cat being nosy.
Yeah, that scared me for a second. I didn't know it was a cat. I thought it was the rodent from Martin.
Look at him creeping. Look at him.
Okay.
Nosy. Get out of here.
But to your point, when I seen them say, "Oh, she completed the bows too," I said, "What? What is the two? What is that?" It shows they are naming names after her moves, which is amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they said that's the fifth one now that she created some type of new move or new technique and they named it after. It's nuts. It's
That was
crazy.
the first one that I seen. That was the first one that I seen. I did not know she was getting names after her routines now. Like that's
Well,
amazing.
and they're in different things. So like that one was the uneven bars, but she had them in different, you know what I mean, in a different I don't even know the words for it,
Yeah,
but
different routines that
yeah,
she's doing. Yes,
yeah,
I did not know that. Wow,
no,
that's amazing.
yeah.
So
She's
salute
a
to
beast.
Simone Biles and Team USA, and even some of the other women, Suni Lee and
Hmm.
the other girl. I remember she fell
Jordan
off.
Charles.
Yeah, Jordan Child. She fell off one and then completed the routine. It was just amazing to watch, man. And I'm not real deep into gymnastics, but it was good to see the greatness of Team USA holding it down in pairs.
Gymnastics has always been something that really interests me. I always love like Cirque du Soleil and stuff like that too, because it's really amazing when you watch these athletes press their bodies and minds, right? Because in order to make your body move so specifically and tight, and you know what I mean, like that takes a lot of mental work too. And just to see how excellent they can be as human mechanisms, dude. It's nuts. I mean, it's amazing. It's literally amazing. I'm amazed every time I watch them.
Yes, yes, I'm amazed, and now I'm starting to wonder, like, will she be too old to do 2028 in LA? Like, my
I don't
goodness,
know. How old
that
is she? How old is she now? Do you know?
I think she's 27, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
20.
she might be. 31 is real old for gymnastics. Oh,
Well, the swimmer Ledecky saying she's want to compete in the next one. And she, man, listen, when I seen her swim, she was blowing out the competition. They wasn't even close to her.
she was half a pool ahead of them. Half a pool.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. By the time she got to her interview, now that one I did watch live. By the time she got to her interview, she had all her air left. She was relaxed. You know what I mean? She wasn't, you know how they be in the interview.
Right,
You know,
right.
yeah, she was like, yeah, so
That was
yeah,
amazing.
I did my thing.
Shout out to all the USA participants in the Olympics, man. They especially the people that's dominating, man. My goodness, they doing their thing and it's fun to watch.
It is. I agree with that. I love the Olympics.
Let's talk a little football. We have a football game tomorrow. The Bears and the Texans are starting off the NFL season in the Hall of Fame game. But as a Bears fan, I am disappointed. The number one overall pick, Caleb Williams, will not play in the Hall of Fame game, and I'm angry and I have a little rant. This is the Hall of Fame game. This is the first game of the NFL season. Now I know it's preseason. I know it's exhibition. I know it don't count, and I know players don't play in preseason. But this is not a regular preseason game. This is the Hall of Fame game, and I believe the Bears got some a Hall of Famer going in there, or the Devin Hester going in this year. It's like, yo, hey, give the rookie a series. You can't give him a series, one series, and promoting the NFL. This is the first game of the season. Why? If I'm the commissioner, I'm about to start one of the NBA rules. If he's healthy, you got to at least put him out there for a series. You cannot. We're promoting a brand. We are promoting the NFL, and I need the number one overall draft pick to be on the field. What are your thoughts?
I gotta take the opposite position again. I do. I know you don't want to hear that, but I do because I exactly for all the reasons that you said. It is preseason. They typically do not, yeah, a couple series here and there, but like you ain't putting out your best cards, right? Really, preseason is to see who's going to get cut before you got your final team, right? And we know this guy's not going to get cut. Like, and also, why would you put him out there and risk the fact that he could get hurt, pull something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think, and also, if he's not ready, he's gonna be a disappointment and it's gonna look bad on the Bears. And so I don't know, man. I'm okay with him sitting down.
This is not just a regular preseason game. This is the Hall of Fame game. They have a Hall of Fame in front of the preseason game, and you can't hurt by put. You could have listen. You could have put him in a game and just have him hand the ball off 3 times. If you just do that, I don't care. Run him out on the field at least. Give the people something to look. Let them see the jersey. My goodness, let them see something. Nobody want to see Tyson Bagent. We see the backup quarterback for the Bears. We seen him last year. We know what he looked like. I want to see you. Hey, listen, my last name is Williams. I want to see a Williams running out there at quarterback, number 18, the number 1 overall draft pick. And like I said, hand the ball off 3 times. If you say he ain't ready to hand the ball off, then we got a serious problem. He can at least do that.
Okay, well, right. So if he does go out there, let's just say he does go out there and hand the ball off 3 times and you don't get a single snap out of your number 1 pick, you still not going to be disappointed with that?
What you mean? You trying to say what if he hand the ball off and get hurt? What, tripping on somebody or something?
No. I'm just saying if he hand the ball off, you say, you know what I mean?
I'm happy with that.
It's not a single, like he ain't got the ball a single time.
No.
And you all right with that?
He getting experience just running out on the field. It's the excitement as a.
He gonna run out on the field. He gonna have on the whole uniform. It's gonna stay crispy clean.
Listen, I guarantee you, if fans know he's playing, the ratings are going to shoot way higher than him not playing. And if you're trying to get ratings, you tell the coach, hey, just run him out there. If you don't want him to play, just run him out there. Have him hand the ball off. But we want to get these ratings up. Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. I just see it. You know, I can understand it. I would want to protect my investment.
Ah, man, listen. Don't tell me it's the Hall of Fame game. Don't put my team in the Hall of Fame game if I can't see him play in the Hall of Fame game. Like, I mean, already got to deal with the. I'll tell you one thing. I better see him the next game. But I hate that it's my team in the Hall of Fame game and we got a number 1 overall pick and I can't see him. It's
I
personal.
feel that.
It's personal.
I feel your passion now. I see that you fired up about it, and I feel that.
Now
I really do.
Now I gotta wait an extra week. Who wants to do that?
I mean, patience is a virtue, my friend. And it keeps you hungry for it, don't it? Now you like, oh man, I gotta see next week so I can see if I can see my boy Caleb. I think it's a smart play.
I bet you do. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go off on that. But now I want to get to you as a life coach. I want to you're a life coach for PNW. You're actually my coach, and it's helped me out tremendously. And I just want to talk about what it means to be a life coach, and just talk about how did you even become a life coach? What made you become a life coach?
So I was a barber for 17 years, and my shoulders were going bad, knees going bad, wrists going bad, and I just knew that I couldn't be on my feet too many more years. And so I was thinking about what felt closest to being a barber without cutting hair or being on my feet anymore. And the thing that I love most about the job is really connecting with people. I mean, like we've already, you know what I mean? We've already done. I mean, again, this is what I have always done, but without cutting hair, right? You know what I mean? There's just no haircut in it, but we have the same kind of conversations. And the thing I love most about being a barber was really getting to connect to people and watch them move and progress through life and just see, you know, how things happen for them. So, yeah, so I got certified to do that while I was finishing my undergrad at Purdue, and it just so happened that this position opened up just at the right time. And I was like, man, that sounds perfect for me. Especially being I've also shared this with you too. I dropped out of college 4 times before I finished. Right. So being in a position to try to come alongside students and help them, you know, get it done the first, second, or third time or whatever. That's me giving back. So, yeah.
So can you talk about after I think how many times have we met so far? Like 3 times, I think. Now?
3, yeah.
So
I think so.
I know the benefits that I get from it, and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be even more once the semester starts with school. But can you talk about the benefits of having a life coach for people who might not have one, who might be thinking about getting one? Can you talk about just the benefits of having one?
Yeah, I think if you're anyone who wants something else, you should have a life coach. And I know that's a really broad statement to make, but A lot of times we can't get to the next place in our life because it's hard to break habits. It's hard to break habits because you don't have anyone holding you accountable. It's hard to break habits because you're around people who have similar habits. And
Mhm.
so it's hard to leave those people behind, find a new tribe. Um, and so that's what a life coach does, try to put you on the right track, try to get down to what you actually want, because that's hard for a lot of people to figure out as well. What do I actually want with all of the outside noise taken away, right?
Right.
And then once you discover that, help you drill that down and make it into actionable steps and just kind of partner with you in creating a life that you want.
Right. And so one thing that we talked about in one of our conversations, I think I made the comment that it's easier for me to keep appointments with others, or if somebody else is asking for something or needing something, it's much more easier to make it happen when someone else is asking for it than if it's just I'm dependent strictly on myself. And it might not be the best trait, but everybody gets motivated by different things.
Yeah.
Or so for me, um when talking to you and like you say, holding each other accountable, it's been a benefit to me. But I thought it was a great conversation that we had about that type of mindset. What are your thoughts about some people need another person to hold them accountable, and we call it accountability partners and things of that nature. But what is your
Yeah.
thoughts about that mindset?
It's really common. It's one of the most common things I see, to be honest. And I think it's it's probably the easiest part of the job. And it's just it takes like no effort on my part, right? Like I'm gonna keep showing up if you keep showing up.
Right.
And if you know I'm going to show up, you're going to be like, oh man, I said I was going to do that thing. And I know that Dee's going to ask me about it. So let me go ahead and get it done so I have something to tell them. But we all need someone like that in life. But a lot of times we're not surrounded. People who want more and are pressing forward in life have a tendency to be surrounded by people who do not want more.
Mm.
Right. And so it's hard to find someone that's on your same wavelength. And so that's where we come from. But it's really common to prioritize like showing up for someone else instead of showing up for yourself.
Right.
And that's kind of like one of the things that I hope to like get you guys thinking about. Why are you more likely to show up for someone else than yourself? What is that mentality about? And how can we get you to start thinking about your future self as a person that your present self needs to be showing up for?
That's some deep stuff right there. I remember the first time we talked about that, and I was like, man, to have that thought process and to have the discipline to keep going, thinking of your future self. Like,
Yeah.
man, that's a good way to be if you can stay focused on that.
Yeah. And that's, if you can't, that's what I'm here for. Right.
Yes.
Because here's the thing is that what we don't understand is that where you are now is a pattern of the things that you have done your whole life. And if you want something different, you have to break those habits and those patterns. And it's not going to be easy. We've been doing those things. I'm 44. I've been thinking thoughts for 44 years, right? That landed me here. And some of them serve me and some of them really don't.
Right.
So it takes a lot of concerted effort to change the path of your life, but it's totally worth it. And if you have somebody standing there saying, hey, don't forget, we're not doing that anymore. We're doing this new thing. Oh, yeah, but don't forget, we're not doing that. We're doing this, right? Like, you need that.
I got a question, something that just came to me. Have you ever came across somebody that probably needed a life coach, but for whatever reason is scared to take that risk of asking for help? Or um it made me think about that, because I know sometimes just in general help, some people don't want to reach out when they need help for whatever reason, whether they want to think that they don't trust somebody else, or they just afraid to ask for help. Have you ever came across somebody that possibly needed a life coach, but for whatever reason was afraid to actually ask for that help?
I'm gonna be frank with you. I think everyone needs a life coach. I have a life coach.
Mm,
And I think most people are either just kind of don't believe in it, don't think it's going to work, don't want to share their business with somebody else.
there you go.
Um, we're, and I'm going to say this as a person of color, right?
Hmm.
We're not very trusting,
Mm,
and for good reason, and
yeah.
for good reason.
Right.
Poof, you know. So I get that, but if you want to do something different, you're gonna have to do something different. If you want to have something different, you're gonna have to do something different. If you want to be something different, you got to do something different. And if
Right.
you want to be something that you don't see around you, you're
Yes.
gonna have to outsource that, right?
Yes.
Because you can't ask your mom to tell you how to get a 700 credit score if she rocking a 530.
Facts. 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 You're gonna
And
have to go outside the box.
you got to go outside. You got to call in help. You got to phone a friend because you
But
ain't got nobody around you that can do that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's really what it's about. And and the other thing is that I think people are afraid to change and grow a lot of times because they know inherently
Mhm.
that it will put them at odds with the people closest to them. The people close to you don't want to see you change
Right.
because
Right.
it takes you away from them. It makes them see you different, or they think that you're going to see them differently.
Mm,
And they're invested in you staying the same many times.
mm, mm.
And I think that we know that. And some people are just so comfortable and married to their clan that they will never become the person that they want to be, which is really, really tragic to me.
It is. It is. And I'm glad you brought up being a person of color because uh man, that's a big thing in the black community. I remember coming up in therapy, and therapists was looked, but now it's popular and more people are doing it, but still not enough. Um,
Yeah.
and then when I think about it, it's like for people who are believers and believe in the Bible, it's even in the Bible. It talks about having many
Councils. Yeah.
counselors. And I remember coming up, nobody ever talked about that. And so like I encourage people, not only therapy, but and think about getting a life coach. I said at the age of 40, and I think I said this even last year, I'm going to use all the resources that are available to me. And I'm happy that you got plenty of resources for me to use, even at the school.
Yeah.
But just in life in general, I choose to use any and every resource that's available to me. Why not use the resources? That's like having a job with benefits and not taking advantage of them. Like, who wants to do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
You'd be really surprised though. And this is one of the things, it's one of the great things about actually finishing college. I dropped out so many times because I didn't think it really mattered.
Mm,
Ultimately, to be honest with you, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn some things I don't really care about, like whatever, you know what I mean, just for this piece of paper. But one of the things that I learned in one of my classes was that people have a tendency to not ask for help or take advantage of benefits because they think that they're reserved for people who really need them, like that are more dire than they are.
mm,
So if I were to admit that I needed the help, I'm saying that I'm like at the bottom of the bottom.
right,
And that's
right.
not true.
It's
You know what I mean? So it's
not.
like it's just assistance. I wouldn't have finished school this time if I hadn't gotten accommodations from the learning center. Like I needed help with my attention. I needed help reading. You know what I mean? And I got it and I was able to finish. And there's no harm in saying I got help to finish because at least I finished.
Yes, yes, and I went to the writing center, last semester proudly multiple
Yes.
times for the same paper. For the same paper, I
Yes.
went like 5, 6 times. Until I was sold that I was good, and I ended up getting an A on a paper, by the way. Like, yo,
There it is.
why not use the resources? And you touched on some really important to me. Like people got to stop worrying about what other people might think, or they think you less than, or you at the bottom of the totem pole because you asked for help. No, fool,
Yeah.
I'm using my resources and it's
Yeah.
available to me. And why not make your job easier?
Yeah.
Yo,
I
the
agree.
Writing Center is going to help you. They're going to help you plan out the paper. They're going to help you put things in place. Life coach is going to give you tools, resources. Therapy is going to help you mentally. Like, yo, people can say what they want. I will be in every resource center available to me proudly.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody has to say. I think
I
I'm
think
in,
that
I'm
go
in the
ahead.
I don't care phase. That's all.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. But you know what? That takes a level of humility and a level like a diminished ego
Yeah.
in order to say, yeah, I do need help. You know what? I'm not the best writer. I do need help with this pay. I don't know what the hell. Somebody phone a friend.
Yeah.
It takes a level of humility to say, I don't know how to become the person that I want to be. I don't see it around me. There's
Yeah.
no one to guide me. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know in order to get there. And that takes some humility.
And you talked about it again. If you grew up in a family that didn't know how to do certain stuff, why wouldn't you try to do something different to find out something different? Like, yo,
Cause
we
then you're the odd man out. That's
man,
why. Cause then you're the black sheep, you're the odd man out, you're the one that's weird, you're the you
ooh,
know,
you
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 make more money, you move to a different neighborhood, now you acting funny and you bougie.
you all,
That's why.
hey, you all in my business right now. Like, listen, when I tell you, just about everything that you have said, I've been called that by someone,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna leave
because
it
you
at
want to do something better with yourself.
man. Listen,
And but really, so Al, what I wanted to call my, and I haven't pinned it down yet, but I wanted to call my life coaching business White Sheep Life Coaching. And I wanted to call it that because everybody says that we're the black sheep, right?
right,
Because we weird. We the ones doing the weird things, right?
right,
But I don't believe we're black sheep at all. I think that black sheep are normal,
right,
and we're actually the ones that are willing to turn around and say, nah, y'all, that's what you're doing is weird. The
right.
fact that you eat toxic food all day, every day, and love it. You know what I mean? The fact that you listen to toxic music
Mm,
and stay around toxic people and
yeah,
have no desire to live into the best version of yourself, you
yeah,
willing to accept the D,
yeah,
that's weird. That's weird.
yeah,
I want to push myself into new uncomfortable spaces to see just how big I can blow this life up. And to me, that makes sense.
yes, yes, yes. I think we're going to have to do something else with this conversation because I think there's a lot of layers that need to be touched on. You touched on a lot, but
Yeah.
I just want to, like I say, encourage people. Listen, I'm loving having a life coach right now. I encourage people who don't have one. If you want something different, and I encourage you to seek out a life coach because, and I look forward to graduate. And that's what I'm saying. That's another thing we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to talk about sometime is your story because um, it encouraged me being 40 and dropping out. I think three to four times, same way. But believing this time is the time I will graduate. And so your story is just encouraging to me. And it's like, man, it's a lot to touch on there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So now I want to move on. I said I had a day in the life of Al earlier, and this is a segment where I tell you life stories that happen in my life, sometimes funny, sometimes serious, this, that, and the other. And earlier you said something about I said that one thing in a community of guys or black people or guys just period, we don't like to count other people's dollars.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to count other people's dollars. And so what I want to talk about is in this episode of A Day in the Life of Al, my neighbor was trying to count my dollars. Um, so I needed to cut my grass, and I was tired from work. I was like, I'm gonna get to it, but I ain't get to it. And so this is sometimes you got nosy neighbors and neighbors just all in your business or whatever. She came and knocked on my door and said, hey, you need somebody to cut your grass? It's like, and she like, oh, I know you got money. You go to work every day. I know you can afford it. And I had to, man, I'm like, don't count my money. Don't count my money. And so this neighbor, we had some events, I would say. Now she's no longer here, rest in peace. But she was something else. She was something else. But just a word of advice to people: don't count other people's monies and dollars. Like keep your mind focused on your own dollars. Keep your mind focused on your own dollars. So that's a day in the life of Al tip of the day. As we get ready to close, anybody if you want to support the show, you can send stars. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Follow us on Facebook, IG, TikTok. I have on the red Allen Powell's merch today. We always have merch, shirts, hoodies, tank tops. It's hot outside, so we got tank tops. So if you like the show and want to support, you can message me and you can purchase your own, and we ship long distance all over the country. I do have a come to church scripture of the day. The scripture of the day is Ephesians 3:20. And I think it goes along with what we've been talking about today. Like if you want something different, you have to do something different. So this scripture, and I've had the scripture on my show before, but it says, now to him who is able to carry out his purpose and do super abundantly more than all that we dare ask or think, infinitely beyond our greatest prayers, hopes, dreams, according to his power that is at work within us. To him be the glory in the church throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen. And a lot of people know this scripture as to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we ask or think. I like this version because it talks about even daring to ask. And so I think it goes along with what we was talking about. Like, to me, this scripture is talking about dreams. If you dare to ask for your dreams, God can do it for you. But also it says with the power that is at work within us. So we're still going to have to do something. And you talked about you're going to have to do something different. And so I think this scripture is perfect. You can achieve the dreams. You can get your wildest dreams. You can get it done. But what are you going to do differently to do it? Because the power that God has for you is going to be working within you. And so sometimes that power could just be doing something different, reaching out to some different folks. And you'll be amazed of the connections and the connections you can make. So Ephesians 3:20, hopefully it bless you like it blesses me every time that I read it. But that is the scripture of the day. D Boozer, thank you so much for having some fun with me and talking some good talk with us. We're gonna have to do this again, and because you talked about some stuff, and that life coach thing, that's something that I think I haven't heard a lot of conversation about.
Yeah, not enough.
Yes.
Not enough at all.
Yes. We heard about mental health and therapy, is running rapid. A lot of people talking about that, but life coach, I'm not hearing a lot about that. So maybe we're gonna have to do something in the future and talk more in depth about that.
I would love to. I'll be back around.
Yes, we definitely gonna have you back. So with that being said, we're about to get up out of here. You will see me next week, and we are out.
We lock and load, Allen Powell.